Welcome to Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go. This audio uses AI narration to present our original book analysis. Today we're diving into Gone with the Wind. Just throws us right into the heart of the American South, during a time of incredible change and upheaval.
Fascinating how the story unfolds against such a monumental backdrop. I mean, the antebellum South, the Civil War, and then Reconstruction. And we see it all through the eyes of Scarlett O'Hara, a character who I think embodies both the charm and the complexities of that era.
Yeah, Scarlett is definitely a force of nature, strong-willed, flawed, and at times makes decisions that make you want to shake her. But you can't help but be drawn to her story. It's interesting how her character reflects the rigid social dynamics of that world, especially the stark class differences.
Absolutely. The book paints a vivid picture of the hierarchy, from the wealthy planters to the struggling poor whites, and of course the enslaved people. Family lineage and wealth dictated everything, especially marriage prospects. Even Scarlett's father, Gerald O'Hara, with his pride and his Irish heritage, he's keenly aware of where he stands in this intricate social web.
It's like their society is built on a foundation of unspoken rules. And Scarlett, in her own way, is constantly testing those boundaries. I mean, for women of her time, there was immense pressure to conform to a certain ideal. The delicate Southern belle focused on marriage and family. But Scarlett, she's not having any of that.
Right. Her rebellious spirit is so central to her character. It's that constant push and pull between societal expectations, her own ambitions, her desires, even survival instincts. And it's all set against this backdrop of looming war, where everything they know is about to change.
The way Margaret Mitchell portrays the initial excitement and naivete surrounding the Civil War is so telling, particularly among the young men. That scene at the 12 Oaks barbecue comes to mind, all those young men eager to enlist, seeing it as a glorious adventure. And then you have Rhett Butler, the cynical outsider, who cuts through all the romanticized notions.
He's like a voice of reason in a sea of youthful enthusiasm. Rhett is a fascinating character from the start. He sees through Scarlett's facade, understands the harsh realities of war, and doesn't shy away from challenging the status quo.
And what about the women left behind? I mean, their lives are about to be turned upside down. But while the men are off fighting, there's another kind of battle brewing. The one in Scarlett's heart.
Ah, yes, the infamous love triangle. It's almost like a microcosm of the larger conflict happening around them. Scarlett's infatuation with Ashley Wilkes, her rivalry with Melanie, it's all tangled up with societal expectations and her own need for control.
Makes you wonder, is she really in love with Ashley? Or is it the idea of him, the unattainable, that fuels her obsession?
That's the question, isn't it? And the book does a great job of exploring the complexities of unrequited love. Particularly how Scarlett romanticizes Ashley, putting him on this pedestal.
And then the war comes crashing down on them, shattering any illusion of a carefree life, from the siege of Atlanta to her desperate journey back to Tara. Scarlett experiences the brutal reality of war firsthand. It's in these moments that we see her strength and resilience emerge.
The pampered Southern belle facade crumbles. She's forced to adapt to fight for survival, not just for herself, but for her family and Tara, the land that represents everything she holds dear.
You see her resourcefulness, her pragmatism, even her ruthlessness, and how she manages Tara. She's willing to break societal norms to get her hands dirty literally, to keep her family afloat. That scene where she declares, "As God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again," it speaks volumes about her determination.
That line is so powerful. It's a testament to her will to survive, even if it means compromising some of her morals. It's in these moments of crisis that Scarlett's true character shines through. Scarlett's journey is one of constant adaptation, isn't it? I mean, she's forced to shed her old self, the Scarlett who thrived on parties and flirtations, and become someone capable of navigating a world turned upside down. And it's during this time of upheaval that her relationship with Rhett Butler really takes center stage.
Yeah, their connection is electric from the start. The clash of personalities, a battle of wits, and yet there's this undeniable attraction between them. Rhett sees right through Scarlett, but he also recognizes her strength, her spirit, in a way that others don't.
He challenges her, provokes her,
Right.
and pushes her to confront her own self-deceptions. It's a dynamic that both frustrates and fascinates Scarlett. You can almost see the wheels turning in her head as she tries to figure him out.
And then, much to the shock of Atlanta society, she marries him. It's a decision driven by a mix of motives, financial security defiance, perhaps even a subconscious recognition of the depth of his feelings for her.
Their marriage is like a whirlwind, a constant push and pull between their opposing desires. Scarlett longs for the past, for the world that's gone, while Rhett is firmly rooted in the present, a pragmatist who sees opportunity in the changing South.
And it's fascinating how their relationship mirrors the larger societal shifts happening around them. The Old South clinging to tradition versus the New South embracing change. It's almost like a battle playing out on a personal level.
Exactly. And then there's Bonnie Blue, their daughter. For a while, it seems like Bonnie's arrival might bring them closer together, bridge the gap between their differences. Rhett is utterly devoted to her, seeing in Bonnie a reflection of Scarlett's own fiery spirit.
There's a tenderness in Rhett's relationship with Bonnie that we don't often see from him. And for Scarlett, Bonnie represents a love that's pure and unconditional, something she's never truly experienced before. It's heartbreaking when that happiness is shattered.
Bonnie's death is a turning point in the novel. It's a tragedy that exposes the fragility of their marriage, the fault lines that have always existed beneath the surface. Rhett is consumed by guilt, blaming himself for encouraging Bonnie's recklessness, and Scarlett, lost in her own grief, retreats further into herself, unable to offer the support Rhett so desperately needs.
It's a cruel twist of fate that the one thing that could have brought them together, their love for Bonnie, ends up driving them further apart. And in the midst of all this pain, we see Melanie once again demonstrating her remarkable capacity for compassion.
Even in her own grief, Melanie reaches out to Rhett, offering comfort and understanding. It's a testament to her character, her ability to see the good in everyone, even when they can't see it themselves.
Melanie's empathy and kindness shine through, especially in contrast to Scarlett's self-absorption, and it's Melanie's declining health, the weight of her own grief and worry, that ultimately leads to her death.
Her deathbed scene is so powerful. It's filled with love, forgiveness, and a deep understanding of the people she cares for. And it's in that moment, as Ashley breaks down with grief, that Scarlett finally sees him clearly, without the rose-colored glasses of her infatuation.
It's almost as if the scales fall from her eyes. She realizes the depth of Ashley's love for Melanie, a love that was genuine and profound. And she's forced to confront the fact that her own feelings for him were more about fantasy than reality.
And Rhett, watching this all unfold, recognizes the futility of his own love for Scarlett. He knows he can't compete with the ghost, with the idealized image of Ashley that Scarlett has clung to for so long. It leads to one of the most iconic and heartbreaking lines in literature. My dear, I don't give a damn.
It's a gut-wrenching moment, the culmination of years of unrequited love and simmering resentment. But even in the face of Rhett's apparent indifference, Scarlett clings to hope. Tomorrow is another day, she tells herself, determined to win him back.
That ending with Scarlett's vow to fight for Rhett's love leaves us with so many questions. Will she succeed? Has she finally learned from her mistakes? Or is she destined to repeat the patterns of the past?
It's like Gone with the Wind isn't just a love story. It's a window into a pivotal moment in American history. The Civil War and Reconstruction aren't just backdrops. They're forces that shape the lives of everyone in the story.
The novel captures that allure of the antebellum South, with its grand plantations and elaborate social rituals, but it also peels back the layers to reveal the harsh realities of slavery and that deeply ingrained racism that permeated Southern society.
Right, we see the war's devastating impact, the loss of innocence, the struggle to rebuild lives and fortunes amidst immense challenges, and the changing social landscape, the rise of carpetbaggers and scalawags. It all adds another layer of complexity to a nation grappling with healing and redefining itself.
And Tara, that symbol of home and security for Scarlett, takes on even greater significance in this context. It represents the Old South, a way of life that's vanished. But it's also a symbol of resilience, the enduring connection to the land that fuels Scarlett's determination.
You mentioned earlier that Scarlett's journey is one of constant adaptation. It makes me think about how she embodies that struggle of the South itself, clinging to tradition while trying to navigate a rapidly changing world.
Yeah, that's a great observation. Her business ventures, her willingness to take risks and break societal norms, reflect that spirit of adaptation, even if her motivations are often driven by self-preservation. And her clashes with Ashley over her business practices highlight the moral dilemmas of the Reconstruction era.
It's interesting how those clashes reveal the limitations of Ashley's worldview. He's trapped in the past, unable to fully grasp the changes sweeping through the South. He represents a certain type of Southern gentleman, honorable but ill-equipped to handle the harsh realities of a new era.
While Scarlett, for all her flaws, has that survival instinct, that ability to bend with the wind, so to speak. It's what allows her to thrive, even if it comes at a cost.
Which brings us back to those lingering questions about her future. Does she find happiness with Rhett, or is she doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past? The book doesn't give us a definitive answer, and that's part of what makes it so compelling. It invites us to reflect on the nature of love loss and the choices we make.
It's a story that continues to resonate with readers generations later. It speaks to universal themes of resilience, ambition, and the search for love and belonging in a world that's constantly shifting beneath our feet.
So for anyone listening who hasn't yet experienced the epic saga of Gone with the Wind, we encourage you to pick up a copy and embark on this literary journey yourself. Explore the complexities of its characters, the sweep of its historical setting, and the enduring power of its themes. And for those who want to continue this conversation, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. For more deep dives into thought-provoking books and ideas, you can purchase Gone with the Wind via the link below. Thanks for joining us on this exploration.